Ready to cook some bacon? Prepare your grill, because we're going to be smoking some enemies. You want something that's good at close to medium range, and can do a whole bunch of damage, and also has a whole bunch of ammo. Today, we got you covered for that. And today, we're going to be reviewing the last LMG that you unlock, the M60E4. The M60 is an American light machine gun that was made in 1952 and started service in 1957. It was derived from Nazi German machine guns, and the only two that were very important from them was the MG42, aka Hitler's buzzsaw, and the unfamiliar FG42, and it intended to replace the Browning M1919 machine gun and the Browning automatic rifle, or BAR. The weapon was used in boats, vehicles, and was used for infantry use. It was nicknamed the Pig due to its heavy weight and its rate of fire of consuming a whole bunch of ammo. But in Vietnam, the weapon was more than reliable. The weapon was easily breaking and easily can be jammed, and due to the dirt from Vietnam, it was prone to jamming. And even worse, the weapon can run away, or you would have a major malfunction which could blow up the gun. The E4 variant looks like the E3 variant and is more lighter from that appearance, and uses extra rails for attachments. The weapon, however, was phased out entirely due to the major malfunctions of the weapon, and was phased out by the M240 or FN Mag or the M249 SAW. And the weapon was sold to many countries, and the weapon as well was used in a whole bunch of cinema. The weapon is a powerhouse when it comes to damage. With the best damage within the LMG category, you will be killing people within 2 to 3 shots, and 2 in the head. The weapon, however, is the only one that has a range drop-off within the LMG category, at 25 to 38 meters, which isn't bad. It compares that to an assault rifle. Your penetration ability, however, like all the other LMGs, is high, so you'll be able to pierce through cover and kill your opponent more quickly than the other weapons. Rate of fire, however, is the slowest within the LMG category, and one of the slowest within the game. With your rate of fire, you are going to be going against 600 rounds per minute, and with your double tap equip, you're going to be going a little bit faster. Actually, as fast as an assault rifle or SMG, at 800 rounds per minute. But do be warned that your recoil will be significantly increased. Your hipfire, however, is going to be high, so that could be only used for a dire emergency. The recoil is a monstrosity. It is one of the worst within the game, and the worst within the LMG category. Your recoil is going to be really ineffective when it comes to longer ranges. So this gun is only good when it comes to medium/close ranges. But your aim time, however, is going to be slow like most of the SMGs at 350 milliseconds. Your switch times, however, are slow as well. 600 milliseconds going down, and then when you're putting your weapon up, it's going to be a very slow 1.25 seconds. And your speed, however, is the same as the other LMGs at 87.5% of the base speed. Like all the LMGs, you have a superb magazine supply. With your magazine equipped, you will have 100 rounds in your disposal, enough to kill the enemy team once, twice, or even 3 times depending on how good you are. Your other starting supply, however, is going to be 200 rounds, 100 rounds that you have on tap, and the 100 rounds that you have in reserve. Your reload, however, is going to be the slowest in class, next to the RPD, at 9.7 seconds, about almost 1/10 of a minute, or almost 10 seconds in short. So you're going to have to be outside somewhere and out of enemy way in order to reload. Our build of this weapon is going to be based on a holding down defense class, making sure that you're going to be using this weapon within close to medium ranges. Due to the weapon having high recoil that we cannot use it in longer ranges unless you burst fire. but we're going to also use resistance, and we're going to be using anti-air as well. But first, we need to replace those god-awful iron sights of those. You can't even see when it comes to medium ranges unless you are perfectly good with those sights. But for the normal person, they would recommend a red dot sight due to those iron sights of them, and will have a better picture when it comes to longer range targets. But if you prefer those iron sights, then maybe the foregrip can work too. And if you prefer longer ranges, then the ACOG scope can work as well. But you do have to tend with higher recoil, a longer sway, and that of an increased aim time, or decreased aim time at least. When it comes to our first perk, we are going to be using anti-air, obviously. And what other perk is better than that? Than the RPG times 2 perk. With the RPG 7 times 2 perk, this can also be used to take down objectives, or even to kill multiple people if they're in a corner or into a nice little small space. And even if they're in cars or barrels or even right beside them at least, and you'll be able to enhance your explosion. And with the anti-air also, it can also take down helicopters. You can take down one with the RPG, and then just take a couple of shots with your M60, and you'll be able to save another rocket as well. And it can also drive people out of objectives as well, as mentioned earlier, so it has a multi-purpose role. But if you prefer more multi-purpose when it comes to objective areas, then the C4 times 2 perk is also effective. Next up, we are going to be using Juggernaut to hold our ground and make sure that we have a little bit more health before killing the person as well. With Juggernaut equipped, you'll be able to increase your health slightly, but do be warned that you'll be able to be countered with that of Stopping Power and that of Sonic Boom. But if you prefer a little bit more damage and range, Stopping Power is pretty good as well. And that can also be a good difference when it comes to killing people at longer ranges. Lastly, for our close range of aggressiveness, we are going to be using Steady Aim. And Steady Aim will decrease your hipfire significantly, making that up close of an assault rifle, and making sure that you have a chance of killing people at point blank ranges. And with your high rate of damage, you're going to be killing people very quickly within 2 shots. But if you prefer more penetration ability, then the use of Steady Aim can definitely work as well, and you would use less bullets in order to kill, and will cover your enemy in a nice little cover with that wall behind you. So, the M60. It has the best damage within the LMG category, and one of the best within the game. Compare that to the sniper rifles. It can be controllable due to its low fire rate, and the weapon, unlike the other LMGs, is only good when it comes to close to medium ranges. That slow rate of fire can also kill you when it comes to SMG users or that of shotguns. But it also has really bad handling and has one of the worst recoils within the game. And also has the worst reload in the game. Compare that to the RPD as well. And unlike the other LMGs, it is pretty bad when it comes to longer ranges unless you're burst firing. But other weapons at those ranges can easily kill you if you're shooting in short control bursts. Otherwise, this is a fun gun to use when it comes to closer ranges, but if you want to go at longer ranges, be sure to be in cover and fire in short control burst due to the recoil of the weapon. So, if you want some smoked ham, smoked bacon, or anything pork related, then equip the pig and you'll be sending your enemies crying wee 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 all the way home. Thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to vote, rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and be sure to look at my Facebook and Twitch page down below. And for our next episode, we are going to be heading back to the sniper rifles, and we're going to be looking at the last bolt-action rifle that you have in offer, and that is the R700. Until then, GalacticStorm saying, keep charging, bitches.